There's a swastika that's been sprayed on the floor, which is part of a set. There was an SS sign on the street sign that we've removed. Yeah, we came out and cleaned it off, and in doing so we discovered that 2 of the main parts of the graffiti were directly outside neighbours whose homes were Jewish households.
I'm with Lucy Cox. With washing up liquid and wire wool, her and her neighbours were quick to scrub off this Nazi graffiti which recently appeared in Dollis Hill. Gregory is Jewish and lives on the street where the graffiti appeared.
It was unnerving, frightening, and I feel a bit cautious when I'm opening my door these days because I think who's likely to be on the other side.
The swastikas then appeared in NIGDY a few days later, close to this one, written in Polish from a few months before. And around that time this poster appeared, advertising a talk by this man, Marian Kowalski. Here he is in Poland giving a speech in his home country. He's a far-right politician and well-known anti-Semite and Islamophobe. The question is, what was he doing in London last October, and why was he trying to give a speech in a local Polish restaurant in Ealing?
They also have a branch in London, yes.
Rafał Pankowski, one of Poland's leading anti-racism campaigners, believes there is a highly organised effort by far-right groups in Poland to recruit in London and the UK.
I would say this tendency has definitely intensified over the last 2-3 years. And there has been a Polish far-right event in the UK almost every week. That includes London. And definitely there is a kind of conscious effort on the part of various Polish far-right groups sending their leaders to the UK, to London.
So how many are we talking here? How many branches do you think, roughly?
I think at least 10 of the Polish far-right groups, they actually operate actively among the Polish community.
Listen, soldiers! Listen to me! It's time! We liberated our own country!
This is Jeremy Bedford Turner. On Monday, he was given a 12-month sentence for inciting racial hatred for this anti-Semitic speech, described as poisonous in court. But take a look at the flags in the background. He's surrounded by a Polish fascist party called the National Rebirth of Poland. The charity Faith Matters recently put together this report about the evolving threat of the far right in Poland. But it also talks about a deeper concern about far-right groups in Britain and Poland bringing to the UK extremist speakers to sow division. This is Rafał Pankowski, a media commentator in Poland, a well-known anti-Semite and Islamophobe. He was due to speak in a room in this pub in Acton in February. They cancelled the booking when they found out who he was, and then members of the Polish community contacted local MP Rupa Huck. Media pressure from her and other MPs forced Pankowski to cancel. It's this community effort which is part of the solution.
There are members of the communities, of Polish communities, who really dislike this extremist rhetoric, who really dislike this sense of separationism and division. We also need leaders like the mayor and others to stand up and say, listen, we've got to deal with this.
We have a warning for the mayor. If it continues unchecked, it could definitely get worse. And, well, I think there is a potential for acts of violence.
For Gregory, one of the things that made the hate graffiti slightly more bearable was the response of his local community, mounting a protest in support. But his overriding feeling is not one of anger, but one of hope for those who indulge in this kind of graffiti. Jim Weeble, BBC London News.